Hello, my name's Amanda. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is called A Hug from Heaven and 3 things that you can do right now if you need one. A lot of people, when going through dark times, and I'm talking dark times in your inner world, which can be sometimes, often, a lot more difficult than dark circumstances going on around us. A lot of times we feel in dark inner times very disconnected from God, from the angels, from any divine beings, as well as disconnected from human beings who really get us, who really understand us, who can relate to the darknesses that we are navigating through. That separation, that perceived separation, can really magnify any dark inner experiences that we're passing through and make it worse than it actually has to be. Number 1, on the human level, the human realm, reach out a little bit more. You might not even have someone in your life that you can really be completely honest with and go into detail and unload some of these dark inner experiences to. You can still reach out, even if it's like firing off a couple of text messages to check in with people that you haven't heard from in a while, maybe even reaching out to someone who you know is struggling and just telling them that you're thinking about them and have a great day. Sometimes what we need to do is get out of our head temporarily by connecting with another person. It might even be through serving someone else somehow in some small way. This can kind of like break through some of the darkness temporarily and start to shift our energy onto a little bit of a different timeline. And that's something practical that we can actually do in the world that actually might help somebody else as well. Number 2 is a little bit more for the mystics out there. And it's calling in the spirits of tenderness. Calling in the spirits of tenderness. There are all kinds of forces and energies and spirits around us all of the time. And if we don't regularly speak to ourselves kindly, if we're not used to other people, especially early in life, speaking to us really kindly and tenderly, our default inner dialogue can become something that is far from tender. And while we're on our spiritual awakening path, we can encounter a lot of regurgitation of unkind inner dialogue, sometimes intrusive thoughts, and we need to balance those out with help. We can't do this alone. If a human is not available to help support us, in the moment, to remind us of the tenderness that is available to us, we can call in the spirits of kindness and tenderness, which are some of the many arms of God, and ask for tenderness to come to us. We can notice if we're missing or we're feeling far from those spirits of tenderness when we're having dark thoughts, dark inner experiences, tension in the body, contraction, rapid breathing, not really feeling good feelings in the body. And that's when we just know we need some support. It's as simple as saying, spirits of tenderness that are connected to the mother aspect of God, I need help. I need support. You feel far from me, and I'm experiencing a lot of inner darkness. Please be with me. Please help me soften my body. Please help me to slow my breathing. Please remind me that I belong to you and that I'm not separate. And calling those spirits in regularly. This is not like a one-time thing. Throughout the day today, calling them in, asking for help. And in this way, we're starting to work with the spirit world in a way that is very safe and very supportive. So call in the spirits of tenderness. Number 3. Sometimes what's going on when we're having dark periods in our inner life actually doesn't have as much to do with us as we think. We are handed down many impressions, imprints, sensations, and experiences from our ancestors. Imagine all of our ancestors going back so long on earth, having tremendously intense experiences, not resolving them, not healing them, not being comforted, and then dying and leaving those energies passing through the bloodline. We're in a great awakening during this time on earth. We're coming out of a dark age. And part of coming out of that dark age is dealing with any of the leftovers from our bloodlines, from our ancestors. This can be really challenging. But know that if you're here at this time on earth and you're experiencing a spiritual awakening, then you are the one. You're the one to do it. Your brothers, sisters, parents, they might lack the depth and the spiritual maturity to be able to handle such strong vibrations that have come down the bloodline, and they've found you. And it can feel too much sometimes, too much pressure, too much intensity. So when we let ourselves step back a little bit from being fully responsible for all of the inner darkness that we are walking through during our dark waves, and realize that a lot of it might have actually been handed down to us through our family line. A small portion might actually come from this life, or something happened in this life that was really terrible. But what that did was trigger a kind of a soul memory or a family bloodline memory of a bunch of other similar difficult impulses and impressions. And so now you've got your thing from this life that was hard enough, but then it's triggered all of the similar unhealed wounds that have come down. So detaching a little bit from it all being you can be actually really helpful. To know that you've got grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents that just were not capable of positively dealing with what happened to them, unable to support themselves, not with anyone else who could support them. And now here you are, a little bit more resourced, maybe not feeling super strong, but I promise you able. If you're watching this video and you are watching videos like this, then you know deep down that whatever comes, as challenging as it can be, even if it's not fully yours, you're capable of looking at it, feeling what's associated with it, and choosing that it doesn't drag you down forever. Detaching from full responsibility or detaching from the idea that it's all you in this life, taking the responsibility that is in your lap and saying, I'm not going to let this weigh me down. I'm going to understand that I'm fully capable and that many people in my bloodline weren't. And again, this is where we can call in those spirits of tenderness and ask for support. It can feel like it's too much sometimes to do alone, and that's true. The more human support and the more spirit world support that we have, the better. It's not that you can't do it on your own, it's that you don't need to. It's already hard enough. It's still going to be hard if you do have support, but it doesn't have to be extra hard. Yeah. This is your hug from heaven and your reminder that you are very connected. Sometimes our connection isn't about feeling and experiencing connection and bliss. It's about knowing who you are, where you've come from, and where you're going back to. You know, if you've got a close friend who is happening to be really far away right now, physically, you have a knowing that that's your friend and that they care about you. Even if they're not in the room and you're not having the felt experience of hearing their laugh and seeing their face and feeling their energy. You know, you have a knowing that that's your friend and they are real. They're just somewhere else right now. It's the same with the spirit world. We can feel very disconnected from God and our guides and the angelic hierarchy. But it doesn't mean that they're not there. It just means that we have to stick with our knowing, our deep, deep knowing. And when we can pass through and keep with the knowing, keep calling in the spirits of tenderness to support us while we navigate these inner dark times, we will find that we do move through when we've experienced what we need to experience in the dark time. So thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please like and comment, and journey well.